before we get into this video, I'd like to apologise. The audio isn't as good as I wanted to get it, but I've tried recording it a couple of separate times, and it just hasn't quite worked out. And I wanted to get this video out sooner rather than later. Hello everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video, and welcome to my kind of yearly setup video. However, this year is ever so slightly different because this should be the last ever one I make in this office. Yes, I've been in this house for 9 years, I think, coming up. I've pretty much gone from about 200 subscribers on YouTube to 137,000 of you that have joined us along the way. Pretty much every video you've ever seen will have been recorded inside this room, but hopefully very, very soon I'm going to be buying a house with my girlfriend. So yeah, I'm going to be leaving. It's not quite my parents' basement. It is an upstairs room. I'm very, very lucky in that regard. So yeah, today we're going to be doing a setup video, just talking through everything I've got for 2025. Of course, as well, this will change rapidly, so I'll probably have to do another one when we move into our new house. Quickly as well, I apologise if the audio, I'm testing out a new microphone. Hopefully it sounds good. It's meant to be a decent quality microphone, so we'll wait and see as to how we get on. So if we enter through, this is my office space. So like I said, obviously I've been in this room now for about 9 years. It has changed a lot in that time. Just a couple of points before we get into it. Number one, the cable management is not good at the moment, simply because, like I said, I'm moving out soon, so trying to tidy up the cables and things like that seems like a pretty pointless exercise if I know I'm just going to have to pull it all out and move somewhere else in the not too distant future. And number two, none of this stuff is essential. Like, if you're just starting out making videos on YouTube, of course, this is my full-time job. So obviously, you know, I'm in a very lucky position where I can either spend a bit more money or some stuff I've been sent for free. Obviously, I make at least normally 2 videos a day. It's often 3 or 4 across all our channels. So yeah, there's a lot here. A lot of it is very overkill if you just want to get started. So if you're looking around and going, I've got nothing that I see here, and you want to start making YouTube videos, you do not need it all. Let's just get into it though. This is going to be quite a wordy video, but I'm a huge nerd when it comes to this kind of thing, so hopefully some of you guys are as well, and then you can enjoy it. First of all then, of course, the question I get asked most, my sim rig. Fanatec CSL GT-DD. Currently on it is the Xbox Universal Hub with a custom OMP rim. Obviously, I use that rim for like rallying and NASCAR on the obviously various other channels. In terms of my other wheels, I've got 2 Fanatec CSL P1s. The Gran Turismo wheel that comes with the Gran Turismo kit. It's honestly a terrible wheel. I hate it. We've got the gorgeous McLaren GT3 rim. I don't use that very much. I need to use it more. And then obviously the one I use for all the F1 videos is the Fanatec CSL Formula V 2.5X or something. Obviously I work with Fanatec, so if you want to buy anything from their website and you want to help support me, there will be a link down in the description below. Obviously if you use that link, I get a little kickback from Fanatec at no extra cost to yourself, so it does genuinely mean a whole lot as well, and really does genuinely help out if you're planning on buying stuff anyway. I've also got the shifter and the handbrake as well, as you can see in the corner. Honestly, I've had all this stuff now for like 4 years, I think. It works flawlessly. I've not had a single problem with the CSL DD. And honestly, I see no reason to upgrade. I think you can get a kit for about 700-800 euros, which is a lot of money. But you know, for me that uses this for 50, 60, 70 hours a week, it works absolutely flawlessly. And it is all on a Trakracer TR8 rig. So again, I've had this rig I think for about 2 years now. It's fantastic as well. It's really, really high quality. It's really, really durable, especially if you've got a Fanatec wheel, you can mount it that way round as well, which works fantastically. So yeah, it just works, again, perfectly. I've also got a link to Trakracer down in the description below as well, so if you want to buy from them, you can help support us out. So that's obviously kind of like the main bits in terms of what you guys see. My camera that I use for my face cam is a Sony a6100. The camera this is being recorded on is a Sony EV1, and then I'll show you in a moment. I've got a little prompter over there which you can just see, which is a Sony
A6400. So 3 cameras is completely overkill, but it does do the job for me. As you can see, we've got a couple of little bolt-ons. So for example, I've got my Stream Deck, or one of my Stream Decks there. That is obviously used for like recording and things like that, and also I can like control stuff on my streams and mute Discord and everything like that. I personally think if you are like dedicated and using, you know, especially if you're doing YouTube videos, Stream Decks are so worth the money personally, or obviously the equivalents to them. I would highly recommend looking into getting one. If you're wondering what that weird fan thing is there, that is my air conditioning. It's February in the UK at the moment. It's like 3 degrees outside today, so it's currently not plumbed in, just because, again, I'm going to be moving soon, so I've taken it out and I won't be putting it back in. I've also got, as anybody that's kind of been around these videos before, obviously my Lewis Hamilton limited edition Lewis 100 win poster, which I absolutely love. I think that one's like 381. It was like a 500 limited run that they did with that, so I think that's really cool. And then, as you can see as well, I've got my normal monitor, or it's actually a TV that I play games on, and then just above that I've got a 24-inch AOC monitor, which is simply used for stream chat and that kind of thing. Well, I guess that should always serve as a reminder as to why I make sure my camera's charged before we get into this kind of thing. But yeah, I've just got a normal AOC 24-inch monitor up there. My TV is, I think, a 50-inch LG TV. Yes, that camera is slightly in the way of the corner of it, so if you ever watched like some of my F1 videos, I can't quite see the mini-map. Definitely something I'm going to be changing when I move into my new space. Down here, I've just got a couple of keyboards. It's an absolute mess. I'm so sorry. I've got a keyboard to control, obviously, my recording PC and my gaming PC or my streaming PC. So yeah, it's a very kind of complicated setup that I've got, but it does work for me, and it does allow me to record videos at 4K 60 without ever having any problems. As you can see above that, I've got a rather large hat collection as well. Unfortunately, one of the clips came off. Again, moving out, not going to change that. And then I've even got even more. So I've got one there, I've got a couple there, and I've got a whole pile more there. So my plan is when I move out to have the collection kind of going all the way around the room as best as I can. But yeah, at the moment, I'm just not going to be doing anything more with that. Also, I've got a Steam Deck. I don't know if anybody's ever done any trying to repair them, but my screen's died on mine, so I think I need to buy a new one, but I'm quite scared to kind of do anything with it just yet. More tech stuff that you guys might be interested in. My microphone, yes, that is a sock on it. I've used pop filters, I've used everything else before. A sock genuinely works the best to kind of avoid some of the S's and P's and things like that. So that is a Blue Yeti X. Really good microphone. I've got no problems with it, and you can see it's just on a tripod. Again, trying to avoid all of the kind of just mess that is down there. Then we move over to kind of like my editing station. As you can see, I've got my YouTube plaque on the other side as well, a Ayrton Senna artwork that one of my good friends Kane got me a couple of years ago for my birthday. I absolutely love that as well, and the level of detail on it. I mean, it looks like a photo from a little bit further back, but it is genuinely, someone's drawn this, or painted it, I would guess. So that is really cool. So as you can see, I run a dual monitor editing setup. Both of these monitors are curved. That is like a Samsung 24-inch curved monitor that I got quite a few years ago. That one is quite nice. It's an AOC 34-inch 100 hertz so I think it's 3440 by 1440p, so a really nice monitor as well, and also obviously with like editing videos and things like that. A widescreen monitor to have a nice wide timeline I think is absolutely brilliant. And then this is actually a more recent purchase on the setup. So this is an Elgato prompter that I want to do more with when I move out. It's not set up in a particularly great place at the moment, but if you've ever watched like Jamie and I's podcast, Knowing Wheel, we always, obviously my camera's through there, so you'll notice at the moment my camera angle is not fantastic for those shows, mainly because I've mounted it a bit too high up and I can't bring like the angle down on it because obviously my monitor's there. So when I move, I'm going to figure out a system that allows me to mount it in a much better spot. But yeah, that one in there is a Sony a6400, so an update version better than that one. I've had no issues with that A6100. I've done like 24-hour streams with it and it just works. So yeah, I bought a new one and hopefully we'll have the same amount of luck with that. Further on, you can see obviously we've got another microphone. That is a Logitech Yeti GX. So similar to that microphone. Logitech actually sent that out to me, a massive thank you to them, but not quite as good. But again, for like the podcast and a few other bits and pieces, it works pretty well. Again, I've got 2 more Stream Decks. Sorry, I'm terrible with a camera. So I got a Stream Deck XL. That was like the first Stream Deck I bought that kind of was like spawned all the problems. So if I look a little bit closer to it, this is how I'm able to edit so many videos in a day. So all of these settings are like different games that I play and things like that. And obviously, so we've got like F1 24, the F1 Ultimate Career Mode, iRacing, WRC. I've even got F1 Manager and MotoGP. And if I go into there, all of these are like editing macro keys that I can just use to obviously, like for example, make sure that my face cam is in exactly the same position every time and a few other bits and pieces. It took hours upon hours to set up, but it works really, really nicely. And then I've also got all of the channels so I can keep up with how many subs we've got and how many views we've got across obviously Matt 2 and 2, clips, racing, gameplay, rally, plays, knowing wheel, and my Volta channel as well because I needed one more on the end. So yeah, I've got all of those there as well. So it's nice to see the numbers always going up on those. I've then also got another Stream Deck. That one was sent out to me by the team over at F1 Manager. I really hope we get an F1 Manager 25 game. But yeah, I haven't even set that one up yet, but I've got a few ideas of what I want to do with it in the future. A couple of screwdrivers. Anybody that works with PCs knows you need a couple of screwdrivers on hand. And then these are my headphones. Genuinely, everything I've got here, these, I think, are the best purchase I've ever made. If you need over-ear headphones, Sony XM4s are the greatest thing ever to exist. I'm not joking. They are, the noise cancelling on them is incredible. The battery life on them, I get about 40 hours, so I have to charge them like once a week, and it takes like an hour to recharge. They're just genuinely incredible. Like I cannot, everybody I know that asks me about headphones, I cannot stress to you enough how good these ones are. And in the UK now, you can pick them up for less than £200. Genuinely, best purchase thing I've ever made. For those of you that care, I run Android. I've got a Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. As you can see, it's got a lot of finger smudges on it. I do actually own an iPhone as well that I use for a few bits and pieces. That's like an iPhone X, I think, so an iPhone 10 from quite a few years ago. But it does the job as like a backup phone with a couple of other bits and pieces. I know what some of you from my streams are going to say. No, I'm not a drug dealer, but yes, I do have 2 phones. And then again, a massive thank you to everybody for the support, obviously, to get that YouTube plaque. Ideally, in the next couple of years, oh, hello, you can see me in it, that's a bit awkward. In the next couple of years, I'd love to get another one. I think genuinely, I'd like to believe that obviously gameplay could reach 100k one day, racing could reach 100k one day. Clips, I'm hoping will, because we're already up to like 15,000 on there. I just need to be reliable with it. And maybe even the rally channel one day hit 100k, because we're having a lot of fun with that at the moment. Again, obviously, controllers. I don't use really controllers much anymore, but I've still got a ridiculously large collection. PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X, I think, or that one and that one might be the other way around. I don't know. Fun fact, my dad has actually basically nicked my Xbox Series X to play Forza, and my mum has basically nicked my Nintendo Switch. So I don't even see either of those at the moment. They're not even in this setup. But when I move out, I will be sadly taking those with me, or at least sadly for my parents. I've also got a Sony TV there that I never use, and then below that is my server PC. That has 120 terabytes of storage in it, plus that one above it that's got about another 40, and that one as well that's got about another 60. So all in all, I've got about 220 terabytes of storage. It is far too much. The last few bits and pieces then, of course, from the setup is just kind of, you guys have seen it before, it's my console wall. There is a lot of consoles and PCs. Yes, I'm going to get stick. My PS5 is just on the floor because I ran out of space for it. Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. That one is just used for like Ethernet cabling and things like that. That one apparently has now got a Moser FSR wheel on it. Again, Moser are a great company. Thank you for them sending me that one out. That is normally where my Xbox Series X is, but as you can see currently it just has a spare Fanatec CSL-DD. I know that sounds ridiculous, but of course, if I ever get problems with mine, I can't really stop recording videos, so that one's there kind of ready to go. Not that I have genuinely ever had problems with it up to this point either. And then you can see I've also got like my the ARM bits for your Oculus Rift as well, which I use from time to time. There's a PS2 that I've never even had the time to set up, just on top of an Xbox One. That's an Xbox One X, I believe. That's PS4 Pro. And then we've got my two normal kind of PCs right at the bottom. That one's my server PC. It just holds files on it. That one is my recording PC. That one is my gaming PC. So that's got an RTX 3090 with a AMD 5950X Ryzen 9. That one's got an AMD Ryzen 7 7800X with an RTX 4070 Ti. So they're both kind of optimized in slightly different ways, but they talk to each other as well, and they both talk to my server PC. So ultimately I can just share files and things between all three of them. I've got a GT Omega chair there that I need to put on Facebook Marketplace because I don't use it anymore, and then just a few other bits and pieces. Of course, all my games, everything like that. No, it's just such a shame that physical games don't really exist anymore because all of it is just digital nowadays. And then I've just got a few other little bits of memorabilia as well. Some of the stuff F1 Manager sent me, Scale Electrics, and a few other bits and pieces as well at the bottom. But there we go. My final ever setup, I think, from this room. A massive thank you to everybody for the continued support. You know, none of this would be possible without all of you guys. If you've got any questions about anything, please do ask them down in the comments below. I think my camera's about to overheat though, so I'm going to end the video there.